We'll come back to that a little later on because Gerald Ryan joins us now. Good morning, Gerald.
Yeah, morning, Sean.
Gerald, when I go away for a break, it usually costs me money. You've gone for a break to Melbourne. 2 horses so far, Mrs. Onassis and Flying Snitzel, and you've given them a toweling.
Yeah, they've both gone down there and raced really well, you know. They've raced terrific. And but they sort of went down fitting well and in the right frame of mind and in the right race at that stage of their preparation. But, no, they went good.
Now, Flying Snitzel on Saturday, you must have just been delighted. I mean, Craig Williams just grabbed hold, went back to the tail. Was that the original plan, or was it just a case of ride where you can from the draw?
No, well, we thought she'd be, because she always begins really quick and gets up near the speed, and we want to ride her a fraction quiet. But we thought it would be 6th or 7th and perhaps 3 wide with cover.
Mm.
But Craig being Craig and good jockeys, and when she didn't jump nowhere near as clean as she normally does, so Craig straight away thought he'd take hold and go back, because if he had gone forward then after giving him a start, well, he'd have been in no man's lane. So it was one case where every intention of the instruction that went out the window as soon as the gates opened, you know. What
was your reaction when you saw her back at the tail?
Mixed. I thought, we're blowing it here. And then I thought, get me a chance to ride her the way I want to ride her for quite a while.
Yeah.
Remember, the first starting a race, she won a 1,200-metre race. They went slow early and she led all the way at Canterbury. And 8 days later, we backed her up in one of those Ingles Classic races. And she jumped awkward and jumped out and got tightened up, and she ended up back second or third last in the race. It was only 1,000 metres around Warwick Farm. And she hit the line 100 mile an hour and ran third, 50 yards further, she probably wins the race, and ran sensational sectionals. And I've always had in the back of my mind, we've tried it a couple of times in the spring of riding her quiet. And because she begins so good and you take advantage of barriers of that, or lack of speed in a race, we've never done it. And when we did try it a couple of times, she pulled and fought the jock. And I know one day Kieran rode her, I think it was the Flight Stakes, and he said then, because I had ideas of her staying, and he said she mightn't stay this time round, but he said, don't give away the idea of her not staying, because once she learns to settle and relax, she might stay, So I was in 2 minds that day. I thought, well, we'll find out, but not in my wildest dreams I think she could storm home like she did.
It was just a real eye catcher, because you saw her hook out, the colours predominant, she's a flashy looking filly, and then all of a sudden you think, yeah, this is going to run a good race, and the next minute, but as Craig said, she went through the line. She wanted to keep going. Yeah,
well, when she straightened up, she had that bit of a bump and duel down the back of the field. I thought, she runs 5th, she's done a good job, And halfway along I thought, she might run 3rd, But when she got the 3rd posse, I thought, oh, hell, she's going to win, because she's really hitting momentum, and she hit the line really strong. It reminded me of when Letalope first burst on the scene. Then she won a 1,400-metre race there, which is now the Letalope Stakes. And she ran at, I think, Caulfield in an open sprint, and then ran in a mare's race there, and she hit the line 100 mile an hour like that too. I think Simon Marshall might have rode her, and it reminded me of her on Saturday,
She just looks so big and strong, like she's really matured.
She's a big filly. She always has been quite a tall filly, and got good angles to her, and she's scopy, and she looks more like a stayer. She does a sprinter, and that's why I've always thought she'd stay. And she's just a lovely filly, and she's great type, and she's got a good attitude now. And all this time around, her attitude's been good, and she's been eating all her feed, and her work's been good. And if she went into her first up run, I put blinkers on her in the light fingers, and I thought she could win the light fingers, but she failed to handle the track and possibly need the run too. But she took great benefit out of it, and that's why I took the blinkers off for the other day, because she was up trucking outside the leader in the light fingers. So
you had the winkers on her on Saturday.
Yeah, I put the winkers on her on Saturday and said just open her up a little,
It's interesting the winkers have come in. You look at Peter Moody's horses, and it looks like they're nearly all born with them on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're great idea, I reckon. A lot of like Cavalry Rose, we put them on her and she improved, but with blinkers on her on the track, she used to pull really hard. And like I had them on Snitzel when she was in Melbourne through the spring, and Then went back to the blinkers. But I just reckon they're good. It makes them concentrate a little bit without covering them up too much and making them too keen. Yeah, no,
It seemed to work. Now, Mrs. Onassis, Gerald, you won the Oakley Plate. You brought her back here in the challenge on Saturday. How's she going?
She's done really well. She had 8 days up at the Gambia at Princess Park there before she come back, and she come back early last week and done really well and worked good. A little bit of a puff on Saturday morning, so I worked her again yesterday morning, and she worked very well yesterday morning, and happy. We were going to wait until the Galaxy to speak to Claire and Jerry and Harvey, and you thought you sit back and wait for the Galaxy and it happens to be wet. Well,
you kick yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's puts her out of play, and there's 6 or 7 weeks between runs then, so that's why if the weather stays fine, we'll go on Saturday.
All right, Dothraki in the Skyline?
Dothraki's going really good. He's galloped here this morning. He's very good with Snitzel, and he's going really good. And Penny hasn't dropped with that horse yet, and if it ever does, well, I think he's shown a lot more at home than what his race form has shown, and I think he's if the Penny drops with him, he'll be really competitive in these races coming up, or he might be a better 3-year-old, you know.
Charlie Boy the other day looked like he sort of almost hit a little bit of a flat spot and then got going again.
Yeah, he probably wasn't too sure. I'm not saying he didn't handle the ground. He probably wasn't too sure of the ground and horses around him, which he hadn't been in his races before, but he hit the line good in the end once he got a bit of footing in there. He will improve a lot off that run. Looking at him, his work this morning was very strong, and Glenn rode him this morning, and he was wrapped with way both colts worked actually, and they're just ticking over good, and the next couple of weeks I'll just stand up or be shot sort of thing, and you haven't got many shots now to get into the race. But I think both horses at this stage of their preparations are going really well. Also
Saturday, Eskimo Prince, you got Villa Splendido in?
Yeah, ran good first up. Not loving the heavy track, but still ran good. Has improved off it. Tough race on Saturday, but we've got to go there for the preparation, and after this, well, she can go back against the fillies and get over a little bit more ground and just diversify a little bit, but she's going to have to take on the colts again this week as well.
Another nice one on the Winona Girl too. Lisa lost it.
Probably won't run. I'll probably save her and go to Warwick Farm the following week in midweek meeting. She's just put her in that race. I thought it might be a chance for a bit of black types, but come up a bit stronger than what I thought it would, you know.
It's interesting, Gerald. I looked through the size of the horses this morning. You got Mrs. Onassis and one on Oakley Plate, Dothraki. You just said when the penny drops, he's going to be a superstar. One by General Nadim, one by Mossman. They're not your $300,000 and $400,000 service fee type horses. Lisa lost it to Dan Zero. They're just by your good, almost better than bread and butter size, but the good horses?
Yeah, they're by, Miss Onassis got a great pedigree behind her. You know, she's out of Miss Jackie O, who was out of Lady Jackie O, which we all know, and just a great pedigree behind her. And I think everyone out of Miss Jackie O, I think she's had 7 of the races with 6 winners, and the only one to ever win as a 2-year-old was the other side got Assassinate. The rest of the mare are all better as they get older. Aussie Love Sports is another one out of her, and he looks like he'd be a better 3-year-old. But Miss Onassis just kept improving each preparation. She didn't come into the place until she was 3-year-old because she had problems early, and she's done each preparation. She's got better and better and better.
Could Dothraki be potentially one of the best horses you've got? Because you just sounded pretty enthusiastic about it.
If he can translate what he's had what he can do on the track to race day, yes, it could be. It could be one of the better ones. And I know last time before he raced, I think it was Saturday morning before he ran at Wyong, Glenn rode him work, and he come back in and said, it might sound stupid this, but he said, this could be one of the best horses I've ridden.
Gee whiz.
But whether, you can always get those morning glories and whether they transfer into race day and that, but he's a great type, Alan Bell was looking at him the other day here at the trials, and he's a good judge, and he couldn't believe that he only made $45,000 as a yearling because he's a magical looking horse. He's tall, he's strong, he's well balanced, great girth on him. He's just a really nice horse, and he's probably one that's slipped through the cracks, really.
Beautiful. Gerald, as always, thanks for your time. Great to catch up, and congratulations too on Flying Snitzel. You're going to look forward to it. You're going to snag it out the back next start?
Oh, she'll be ridden quiet next start.
Oh, really?
She's a big sample of hunting around and looking for a type because she only cost $25,000.
Goodness.
And she's out of a Group 1 winner, so she was a classic type of just hunting the sales and buying type, not necessarily pedigree.
So you got a bit to look forward to out of some good value horses there. Good on you, Gerald. All the best.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Gerald Ryan, and terrific weekend with Flying Snitzel. Great effort. Now,